What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Lev Game Season 1, Episode 12, The Average Man's Perspective on Football. I'm your co-host, Marcus. On panel tonight, we have Brian.
How you doing?
Herman.
Hey.
And Mark.
Good evening.
Before we get started, I want to encourage you to go on over to sportsintel.net to get the latest commentary and opinions on everything related to sports. That's sportsintel.net. I also want to encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel so we get our views up. After you subscribe, hit the little bell, the bell icon, so you get notification whenever we go live. And this past week was a heck of a week in football. Had a lot of trades, and so let's get started. Herman, you up?
Before we do get started, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Delay Game at Twitter.
And tell a friend.
You know what?
Everybody has a friend that watches sports. Tell a friend.
Yeah.
Actually, with the Twitter, we actually do a live. You can live tweet the show, answer some of your questions on the show, makes it more interactive.
All right, so we're gonna start tonight off a little different. We're gonna flip it and do our picks for the coming week since the game is getting ready to start shortly and we're a day late on the show.
Wait, maybe we should explain that. We a day late because Halloween was yesterday. So
yeah, Halloween was yesterday, and
Couple of us had to go trick or treat.
Family's always first and most important. So that's the reason why we're one day late for you guys. All right, so we're gonna kick right into it. We're gonna go 49ers Raiders. They're playing tonight. Two teams.
So almost right now, actually.
Yeah,
a few
teams
minutes.
that pretty much stink. It just is what it is.
1-6
Okay.
and 1-7.
Yeah, like I know that the Thursday night schedule people are just like, damn, this didn't turn out right. So, Marcus, who you got for this game?
I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to go ahead and pick the 49ers. You know, to me, Oakland is dysfunctional right now. Obviously, Gruden is in a, rebuilding stage. He's just, trading everybody away, getting the people he wants in there. So I don't think he's really concerned winning this game. So I'm going to go with the 49ers.
All right. Brian, how about you?
I'm going to disagree with Marcus on this one. I'm going to go with the Raiders. The main reason why I'm picking it is because Beathard, who was the backup to Garoppolo, is not playing, and they're starting their third-string quarterback.
Which is
I don't know.
Mullins.
Thank you, Mullins. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what happened to Beathard?
Beathard has a bad wrist or something, and he was like 50-50, but he's not playing.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change my pick. I'm going to pick the
No, sir.
Now, baby, pick this in. I wish I had done that. Hey, who you got?
This one I'm gonna have to say Raiders on this one also. I think Gruden had mustered up enough offense to get past. This game is pitiful. I'm sorry, it's pitiful. But I think Gruden will put up enough points to keep this from and make it a victory for the Raiders.
Almost every time we say that, we jinx the game. It turns out to be the best game of the week. This
Right.
game.
So, hey, maybe that's what's going to happen tonight. So, but I'm going to go with the 49ers, so we're going to split on this one. 49ers have a pretty decent running back or run game because I got them on my fantasy team.
Tight end.
Yeah, Breeden. And the tight end, I call him Skittles, but it's like
Skittles.
something like that.
Skittles.
Yeah, he's a sleeper, so I'm going with the 49ers on this one. So that looks like that's a split. All right, so now the next game, the real game,
Oh my God!
is the Packers and the Patriots. Patriots are at home. Let's throw to Brian on this one.
Man, it is so many games. We were sitting down talking before we got started, and I mean, this is the week right here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if you're a football fan, you're gonna be glued to the seats watching all these spectacular games going on. But the Packers are coming to the Patriots. Looking up a couple of the stats right now, the Patriots actually are giving up 5 points, which I was really kind of surprised. But I guess home field advantage and, the Patriots being the Patriots. But Rodgers right now is throwing 13 touchdowns and only 1 pick. Brady, he's doing pretty good. He's 16 touchdowns with 7 picks. The reason why I'm going to go with the Patriots mainly is because of the loss of Clinton Dix being traded to the Redskins. And then the Packers also letting go of the running back that they had. I mean, all the Packers are still going to be good. They still got Aaron Rodgers. I think that the Patriots are a more complete team and they're going to take this victory.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots on this one too. Home field advantage for the Patriots. It's just so hard to go up to Foxborough and win. The Packers had a big-time disappointing loss last week. It was almost a guarantee that they would have won that game. 2 minutes left with the ball, and I think they were down by 2.
2 points.
Yeah, they just needed a field goal. They were down by 2. So it's going to be a little bit of a little bit left from what happened. They made some changes. They traded Montgomery. We're going to get into that. And they traded Clinton Dix, like Brian said. So right now, I'm just going to go with the Patriots. Mark?
12-12. No, 12 Brady, 12 Aaron Rodgers. This probably be the last time we see these two quarterbacks play against each other.
That's a good point.
So this might be a legendary game. This one, it's hard to go against the Patriots, man. It really is. I'm gonna have to take the Patriots on this one. They're playing home. I just think this is history being made. This last time we probably see these two quarterbacks play. I'm taking Patriots.
And AKA Tomboy, who you got? Like you need that.
Like Brian said, this is the game. If you're a football fan, you've been waiting to see. Arguably the two best quarterbacks in the league. Arguably the most accomplished quarterback in football. I just feel like Green Bay definitely. I always feel like Green Bay always has a shot with Aaron Rodgers in there. I mean, like you were saying, Herman had a shot last week. There's no doubt in my mind they would have won that game. It's funny because it went down exactly like we said. Like I said last week, don't let Rodgers have that ball, with 2 minutes left, and all he needs is to score a touchdown or a field goal, and he almost was in that situation. And I feel it's the same thing here. New England's defense is terrible, and if anybody can come in and light it up, it's definitely Aaron Rodgers. And if the New England Patriots let Aaron Rodgers hang around and have the ball last, and all he needs is a touchdown or a field goal, he'll definitely win that game. But that being said, I can't go against Brady in Foxborough, so I'm picking the Patriots.
Not to mention that Green Bay's defense ain't much better.
Yeah, it's not.
Especially when they gave away one of the best safeties in the league.
Right.
But the question is why?
And he was playing very well this year, they were saying.
I don't think
Very well.
they were to get him under contract for next year. I think that cap was extremely high, and he was going to want a whole lot that they couldn't afford to keep him next year.
So they try to get what they can.
But this is the thing. Well, yeah, get what you can. But if he leaves in free agency, you got a comp pick. And was he a first rounder?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I mean, you're gonna get pretty comparable draft pick, if he's a high pick. But hey,
they rolled the dice. They felt like they weren't going to get the compensation that they deserved or should have gotten for him. So that's why they ended up doing that trade.
Yeah, so we'll see. All right. So the next game we got is the Monday Nighter. We got the Cowboys. We got the Titans at the Cowboys. And we'll start with Mark on this one.
Titans against the Cowboys. Tough choice for me.
Say Cowboys and keep it moving.
Are they playing in Dallas?
Yeah,
Yes, they are.
Dallas.
I think everything would really come down to how Cooper adapts to the new offense, whether or not Dak can get him the ball. But I think in Dallas, Dallas will come out victorious. I don't think the Titans defense have enough to keep Ezekiel down for one more game. I think he's going to be a man on a mission too. He's going to be out to prove something. So I'm taking Dallas in this one.
Marcus, who you got?
I'm going to disagree with Mark a little bit. I don't believe Cooper and Dak are going to be the keys to this game. As always, if Zeke eats and the defense plays like they've been playing, they got one of the best defenses in the league, they'll win this game hands down. I'm going to pick the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys, of course. There was a time when I wasn't picking my Cowboys, but it's the Titans. Titans.
What time was that?
I think I picked against them one or 2 games. Still mad at Jerry Jones, but anyway. The Titans, they're not putting much on the field. Dallas's defense is like you said, it's one of the top defenses in the league. Not only that, but they had a week to rest. Lawrence should be a little bit better now. He's had some nagging injuries. Sean Lee came back last week, week before, and he played good. That bye week can be a big boost, and we're playing at home, and we're undefeated at home this year. I'm going with the Cowboys. Brian?
So we're going to go ahead and finish this off. Of course, I'm going with the Cowboys. You guys keep talking about that Cowboys defense. The Cowboys defense is ranked number 3 right now, and has the number 4 rushing offense. So with that said, the running game that we have and the defense that we have, I just don't think the Titans can put up enough firepower to win the game. I don't think the Cowboys are going to blow them out or anything like that. Probably maybe 4 or 5 points victory, but the Cowboys should be able to handle this pretty modestly. Also, the Cowboys are giving up 6.5.
I will say though, it seemed like Cowboys defense taking on a whole different identity when Sean Lee was in there. By him coming back last couple of weeks, I noticed a difference in that defense on how that got after quarterback and actually stopped the running game. So
But I mean, yeah, it's usually worse. But that rookie that we drafted, he definitely made a difference when
he
Sean Lee was out.
did. He did.
He's actually the leading tackler on the team right
He
now
did.
too. So
What's his name?
Van
Der
Der Esch.
Yeah, Van Der Esch.
The biggest benefit to Sean Lee is he's the quarterback of our defense. So he makes all the plays. He gets people in order. He makes that thing go.
Yeah, his football intelligence is untouched out there. I mean,
Yeah, I pretty much think Mariota probably be running for his life pretty much the whole game, probably.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on to this one. Whew. Rams at the Saints.
Damn.
Yeah, Rams at the Saints.
Jeez.
This is a hard pick.
This is going to be as good as the game as the Packers against the Rams.
Oh yeah. So Marcus, who you got?
This one's in New Orleans.
This one's in New Orleans.
This one is really hard. It's hard to say. I don't know. It's hard to say. But the Saints defense is pretty bad. Offense is great. It's hard to pick against Drew Brees. But I just feel like right now the Rams are on a roll. I don't know, because somebody's going to beat the Rams. And I'm going to say it's going to be the Saints going to get the Rams their first loss. It'll be the Saints.
All right. I'm with you on that one, actually. It's hard to beat the Saints at home, too. That's the thing. Like, that home field advantage is ridiculous. And I just feel like it's time. After seeing how close Green Bay got last week,
Exactly.
I feel like it's time that the Rams are going to go ahead and take that L that they're going to get this year. So I'm going with the Saints. Brian?
I'm gonna disagree with both of you gentlemen, and although y'all are making really great points, and like Marcus said, I mean, I know why he calls, because this game is I mean, it's only a 1.5 point. It's basically there is no spread. You got the number one rushing offense in the Rams against the number one rushing defense against the Saints, which Herman said is misleading because the Saints are also 28 against the pass, whereas the Rams are number 7 against the total offense, pass offense. So that Rams team is a machine. I mean, even the game last week when they played the Packers, I mean, they started off and then all of a sudden they just on a roll. I mean, they just get on a tear and they just score. And that Gurley is unstoppable.
MVP.
I mean, without him running that ball, he's going to catch that ball and get you. I mean, that catch last week on the sideline where they had to review it, that was crazy. That was crazy good, man. I just until the Rams, show me that they're not going to win, I'm going to keep picking them. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
Who do you think has a better offense, the Rams or the Packers? I mean, I'm sorry, not the Rams. The Saints.
The Saints.
And yeah, I just feel like if
but who
Green
is the
Bay
better
got that
defense?
close,
The Rams.
I think between the Packers and the
No,
Saints.
between the Saints and the Rams.
Well, yeah. But I mean, if Green Bay put up that much and stayed that close, and I think the Saints have a better defense than Green Bay.
You do?
I think so, yeah. Especially at home because they got the noise.
They do have the noise factor.
Yeah, so
I just want to point out that if there's anybody out there in fantasy football land that has Kamara and Gurley on your team,
that's not fair.
oh,
The championship up.
you are going to clean up this week. Man.
And Mahomes, if you got him, Mahomes, the championship.
I don't think that was possible to get all.
I don't think it is either. I don't know. The Mahomes, I don't think went that high.
No, Mahomes, yeah, but you could get them running backs together. Mark, who you got?
This was a hard one for me too. I'm struggling. Saints haven't lost a home game except for the first game of the season. They've been on a win streak at home. Then you got the Rams, who are undefeated in the league.
So they got a win streak at home too.
They got a win streak at home too and on the road. It's a tough one, but I don't think this is the week the Rams are gonna lose. I'm taking the Rams in this one. I think the Rams will come out victorious.
So we got a 50-50 split.
Got a
split
split.
on that one.
Is anybody gonna go lone wolf this week?
I don't know. I don't think so.
With the rest of the games we split on so far?
So far we split, or for the most part, yeah.
Yep. And the last game of the week is Steelers at the Ravens. I'm gonna pick this one first, and I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I'm not picking against them. Look like they're getting into their groove now. They're using their running back Connor. And I just don't trust the Ravens. Like the Ravens will look good at times and then look bad at times. So I'm going with the Steelers. Marcus, who you got?
I'll tell you when I picked before, I picked the Steelers, and they lost that game. They didn't let me down. They lost that game, and I said I wasn't gonna pick the Steelers again the rest of the season. But just like you, I believe the Steelers are getting to their groove. You know, James Conner, that's his name, right? Conner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like Bell Who. That dude is definitely coming into his own. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pick the Steelers on this one, and they better not make me regret going back on my word and say I won't go pick them again this year.
Brian, who you got?
So this one again is like, just give me a quarter or a dime and let me, flip the coin and see whoever heads tails wins. Couple of quick notes on the game. The Ravens are giving up 3 points, a field goal.
Yeah.
But this is a AFC North, battle in Baltimore. So the Steelers got the number 4 offense, and the Ravens got the number 1 defense overall. I like the Ravens. They didn't play very well against Carolina last week, but they did play well against the Saints. They kept up with the Saints. I like the Ravens offense sometimes. They got to get that running game going. I don't know what the problem they're having with this running game. If they could get that play action going and be able to get those deep balls to that what's that wide receiver they got?
Brown.
Yeah, John Brown.
Smoke.
I mean they could light it up. And I don't know. The Ravens haven't swept the Steelers in a while. I just think they do. Give me the Ravens.
And of course, our local Steelers expert, Mark, bring it home.
Well, this is the game where you just take both the records and you throw it out the window. Both teams are strong against the run on defense, and I think you're going to wolf on this one, Brian. I can't go against my Steelers this week. I'm taking the Steelers. Last week, Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The last week, the Raiders didn't even look. The Ravens didn't even look like themselves. I don't know what they were.
Like they had never seen like Cam or something. I mean, they just had no.
Yeah, so I don't know what's up with that. But Steelers, I think, are finally getting a lot of their defensive calls down straight. I'm taking the Steelers.
Our picks for the coming week, and now we'll go back and we'll review the damage that we did or didn't do last week. So we're going to start with the first game, which was the Dolphins at the Texans. I picked the Texans. The Dolphins, they're looking like Brock Osweiler.
Right.
Yeah, that's anything else. I mean, Houston jumped out on Miami. Watson was 16 for 20, only 239 yards, but 5 touchdowns. That is ridiculous.
And you know where he was in my fantasy league?
On the bench.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, who'd you put in this place?
Jared Goff.
Okay, Goff had a good game, but not 5 touchdown game. But yeah.
And
I still won though.
Osweiler, you beat me. I think he's up. Anyway, I think that was this week. Wasn't it?
Yeah, that was this week.
Beat me by less than a point. Anyway.
Yeah, 0.8.
Osweiler. Yeah. Osweiler was 21 for 37, 241 yards, and 1 INT. They need their starter back. What's his name? But I don't think they really know when he's coming back. So I'm going with I went with the Texans on that one. Brian.
I was with Herman on that one. I also went with the Texans. I was impressed with the way that the offense moved the ball. Like Herman said, it wasn't like a pretty game. I mean, but all of a sudden you turned around and this dude threw 5 touchdowns. I mean, it was just a crazy game, and Miami's offense just isn't the same without Tannehill in there. I mean, they kind of do it with like smoke and mirrors. The defense is pretty decent, but they just aren't good enough to win games. So I knew the Texans were going to win, and I'm glad I picked.
Marcus.
Well, of course, I wasn't crazy enough to pick the Dolphins, like certain person on this panel, but I just why have we said anything about that catch by the even though it didn't count?
That was
catch
remarkable.
without the
Oh
was
my
remarkable.
gosh, that was
But
ridiculous.
he does it on such a regular basis. It's
But I can't believe they called offensive pass interference
I
on
know,
that.
I know.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah,
And,
what did he see? He see him push off on him initially.
They were hand fighting, both of them hand
Yeah,
fighting.
the whole time. I think you should just let that play go.
ridiculous catch.
And Mark,
you know, it just I still say that that catch to me was even though it didn't count, was 1,000 times better than OBJ's catch. That,
way better.
Yes, I agree.
way better. So I want DeAndre Hopkins to be on the cover of Madden next year. That's what I want.
He's playing that way, so
You
you
want
might
to
get
play
your
good
wish.
next year, though. Huh? Mark, who'd you pick on this one?
I guess I ate crow on this one, Marcus. I chose the Dolphins. I was actually in my car listening to this game, and I had to pull over with my mouth wide open, like he threw how many touchdowns? Also, Marcus, I had him sitting on my bench in my league. I was amazed at how well he played this time, coming back from the chest injury from the week before. So I didn't have much faith in him this week, but I eat crow. I chose the Dolphins.
The Texans have now won 5 in a row
Yeah, that Texans defense
Yeah.
was a monster.
That's crazy.
after starting 0-3. So there's a good chance they might make the playoffs after going starting 0-2.
Very good chance.
Yeah,
Aren't
they're
they leading their
probably going to
division?
win the division because
Yeah.
the Titans were really the only true threat to them
True.
in the division.
Although the
And
Colts
they're
are playing
sticking
good. The Colts are playing.
Yeah, but yeah. I'll see.
I don't know. I think Deshaun Watson. I think he's back in his groove now. He's recovered from his knee injury. So, if he can do what he was doing last year, Texans are forced to be dealt with.
All right, so we're gonna go with the next game. Saints at the Vikings. Who'd you have for this one, Mark?
I had the Vikings on this one. Even though Kirk Cousins threw for 359 yards and a touchdown. Two touchdowns, right? Two touchdowns. The Saints were putting up a little bit of fight, a little bit of battle in there, but the Vikings were victorious, and that's what I chose.
What? The Saints won that game.
Yeah. Oh, so I lost.
Yeah, you lost.
Oh, I did, but I chose the Vikings.
Yeah, so that's a negative.
Yeah,
I picked
oh,
the
so
Vikings.
that was a negative,
I
right?
picked the Vikings too.
Sorry, lost.
I expected more from the Vikings. You know what's crazy? Breeze was only 18 for 23 for 120 yards and 1 touchdown.
Damn, really?
And 1 INT. But it's something weird with Kirk Cousins, man. I don't know what and I wrote this in my notes. Did teams see something in film? Because this dude has like the most batted balls in the league this year. Like they are batting down everything he throws.
They're getting hands up on him.
Well, look, between him and Flacco, they're always consistently complaining about
Kirk
Flacco.
got it. Like he's got him beat.
And
He's in
Kirk got
double
little
digits.
hands or something because he's always fumbling the ball.
But yeah, that was the biggest key in this game. I think was that
That turn.
their turnovers. The Saints definitely won off turnovers, and the Vikings, they got to get it together. Their defense isn't looking like it used to, like it was last year, and they're gonna mess around and not win that division. The Bears are gonna probably win that division now, looking at the way things are going. But yeah, I had the Vikings on that one. Who'd you have, Marcus?
I picked the Saints. I'm not picking Kirk Cousins Vikings
I'm
over the
Kirk.
Saints. I mean, you knew he was going to throw a pick or fumble the ball or do something. And,
The dude threw for 359 yards.
Okay, but did he win the game?
No, but he still threw for 359 yards.
With that many yards,
He wouldn't have won it with the Skins either.
Maybe not, but he didn't win that game.
Okay, who you got, Brian? Who'd you have? Look, next.
I went with the Saints on this one. The Saints did what they had to do. Like I said, it was a good game. It was a good game till about the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then trouble looked up on Kirk. But you can't really put it all on Kirk. I mean, like Herman said, he threw for 359 yards. I mean, Thielen's leading the league in wide receivers for yards right now. So I think they will get it together. But they've had a little murderer's row of playing of teams lately.
True, that is true. Yeah.
Who drafted Adam Thielen for fantasy this year? Did anybody?
If you don't know about, yes,
I had him last year.
right. I was gonna say Adam. I've had him for at least 2 years.
Really?
That dude is a monster, and I have him and Kurt. So I'm putting fantasy on that one. But yeah, Thielen crept in maybe 3 years. This is the third year I would say he was worth having in fantasy.
Correct.
Last year he put up.
Last year he
numbers,
put
and
up
the
good
year
numbers.
before that, it was like, who's this guy?
He was coming on the
He was undrafted.
receiver.
Yeah, undrafted. So let's move on.
This one shouldn't take long.
Yep, Patriots at Buffalo. Who'd you have, Brian?
Pats all day. That was a boring game. It was ridiculous in the first half. Why are you running the
Wildcat.
Wildcat in 2018? Get a life, Buffalo.
Marcus, who'd you have?
He had the Bills.
You know I had the Patriots. I mean, like Brian said, why? I think they were running the Wildcat because they just needed something, make the game less boring, maybe get people to watch it because they knew it was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be a blowout. Yeah. I mean, they said Tom Brady has he's won 29 games over his career against Buffalo.
That is ridiculous.
So that's the most wins by any quarterback over one team.
Yeah, I remember seeing that stat before the game.
So I don't know why you would think Buffalo was gonna walk in there and win now. So
Mark.
Yeah, I chose the Patriots on this one. I've never seen a reverse pass go so slow as they did.
It's the tight end.
They had one.
Why
of the
are you throwing it to
slowest
the tight end?
I'm sorry, reverse and a pass that it looked like it was a slow motion.
Yeah, 84 is running down. What are you doing?
And they were throwing to the tight end.
Yeah.
It was a pass all the way.
Yeah, I picked the Pats. I mean, it was a no-brainer. There's nothing really left to discuss. But side note for the Buffalo Bills fans out there, your savior Nathan Peterson is starting again this week.
Peterman,
whatever the hell his name.
But they signed someone this week.
Be in the,
Why is Anderson hurt?
Yes, Anderson has a concussion.
But they signed another quarterback, but they just can't get him up to speed to play this.
Dude, he could still play better than Peter Finn, whatever.
Yeah,
Peterman.
Like, this dude should not be in the NFL.
They should let Shady be the quarterback.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, come on, and it's just why
let Shady be the quarterback.
He'll do better than Nathan. I ain't even calling about.
I think he make better decisions.
Peter Parker, whatever. All right, moving on. Packers at the Rams. I had the Rams only because they were home. I was nervous about this pick because, like we talked about, if Aaron Rodgers had the ball in his hands, which he would have had it not been for Ty Montgomery, who was no longer a Packer, deciding that he's going to bring the ball out when he was told not to. They had already discussed this. He was PO'd about not getting touches earlier in the game, apparently. And he decided to bring it out. But one thing about the Rams, the Rams are lighting it up, and nobody's really talking about Goff. Goff is having a decent.
He's having a very good
season. He's been quiet.
He's having a good fantasy year too.
He had a good year last year. He had a very good year last year.
He was 19 for 35, 295 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and he outperformed Aaron Rodgers. So yeah, I had the Rams on that one. Brian.
I was also with Herman on that one and went with the Rams. And like Herman said, I mean, if it wasn't for one stupid mistake from one player, we're picking different. The Packers win this game, and we're talking about how good Aaron Rodgers was again, with the ball in less than 2 minutes on the clock. But luckily, Ty Montgomery did not listen. Did come out, did fumble, and the Rams were victorious. So this is a trend for me right now. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but like every game so far, I picked correctly.
Wow. Brian, Marcus, who'd you have?
I picked the Rams, but I knew it was gonna be a great game. Just like I said earlier, they almost let Aaron Rodgers had that ball last, and there's no doubt in my mind if he would have had that ball last, he would have done what Aaron Rodgers does and won that game. But
hey, just real quick, it was like take it back. It was like 2 minutes on the clock. Do you think they would have scored too early?
Who the Rams? I mean the.
You think the Packers have scored too early and gave Goff a chance to come back and win the game?
No, I think Aaron Rodgers is smarter than that. He wouldn't have done that.
They would have got in the field goal range, ran it down like they needed to. Field goal, walked home.
Even though you can't trust field goal kickers no more these days.
Yeah, that's so true. There's something in the water right now. I think they're doing something to the ball. I'm serious. I think every third or fourth kicking ball, they got some type of weirded weight in there or something.
Deflate gate part 2.
Because it's like they almost want them to miss these extra points. Because then they're like, yeah, it was a good idea moving it back. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
And was Ty Montgomery, was he the one running the ball when they got the safety? Was that him?
No. Mark,
I chose the Rams on this one. This was a great game. It was an exciting game. one thing I took out of it is the Rams kicker nailed some important field goals to help keep them in the game for one. Two, the second thing I noticed that McVay second half, his whole coaching decisions, or he came out, he was very aggressive coming out the second half. I think that made a difference on the Rams getting back in that game too. But I don't doubt that if Aaron Rodgers had had that ball last, that he wasn't capable of coming out of the field and scoring a touchdown. So I picked the Rams, but it was pretty close. It was close.
You know how I know that Sean McVay is going to be probably one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. You know how I know that?
How?
Because the Redskins let him go. That's how I know.
Who was the other one that the Redskins let go? That was the greatest.
I don't know who.
I think there was one.
I don't think
That was the point. All right. So the last game from last week was the Browns at the Steelers. Marcus, who'd you have?
I went with 5-0, but I keep trying to give the Browns credit, and they keep letting me down. And I picked the Browns. I must be a jinx on the Browns because everything just blew up this week, and so let's just put it this way: if I don't know if they got any more primetime games scheduled this year, but I don't think I'll be picking them again.
Brian, who'd you have?
I had the Steelers because I'm smart.
Yeah, I took the Steelers too. And it's like you said, you want to pick the Browns to a win, and you're like, it's a divisional game. They played them so close the first time, blah, 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 blah. Man, and then, the news broke, I think, earlier in the week that Hugh Jackson, is gonna take over the play call duties if things don't get better. And you knew things was going downhill from there. So I'm glad I had already picked the Steelers. And Mark, go ahead and gloat.
I took my Steelers on this one. On a much more little somber note, they were playing with heavy hearts because of the tragedy. They had a tragedy shooting at one of the synagogues up there in Pittsburgh. So they're playing with heavy heart. I thought that Cleveland just, they can't get it right. That's all I can say.
On a synagogue note, they said it was like 800 yards or something from where your coach
it's in his community. It's where he lives at.
Wow.
And one of Steelers employees who used to work with the personnel in the office, two of her brothers were killed in that also. So hearts goes out to them. That's a sad tragedy. But I chose my Steelers and they were victorious.
While we already on that Browns Steelers thing, I know that one of our hot topics was going to be about the firing that happened and the craziness. I mean, first you fire the head coach, and then we were chatting, and we were like, oh yeah, it was like Haley's going to get his chance. Nope, Haley gone. You put Greg Williams in charge, which is even I still don't understand that one. I don't fathom that one either. But just a quick note: do you know that the last 4 or 5 coaches that got fired in the Browns got fired right after they played the Steelers?
Yeah.
Really?
Right about that. But
yes.
I think in my view of it, as soon as they fired Jackson, I said, and you remember I said to you guys, Haley is not the coach for a rookie quarterback. And then they turn around and fire Haley. So I don't know what his name is, but the offensive coordinator is going to be the quarterback's coach.
Jasinski or something like that.
And he's supposed to be known for being good with young quarterbacks and developing quarterbacks. So I think that was a good decision on their part. And the reason why I think they went with Greg Williams is because you let him be the defensive guy, which is what he is, and let him focus on that, and he'll stay out of the offense. And that's probably what they sat him down and said, hey, look, let's
concentrate on defense.
Yeah, you concentrate on the D because the D is there. Let's let this young guy do what he needs to do with Baker Mayfield. If the Browns need to be careful on this one because they have a talented team, whether they're winning or not. They do have a talented young defense.
Very talented team.
I think that Baker Mayfield is legit, but they got to get a coach, and they got to get the right offensive staff in place so that they can develop this guy. They cannot afford to miss on him.
And that's what it feels like right now. He's almost a gem, and they're going to crush him, and he's not going to do well, and he's going to fall to the wayside like all these other quarterbacks that they drafted.
Yeah, and it's like they've got to get this right. They've been below mediocre
Too
long.
Too long.
It's just been too long.
And it was like funny too. There was like backlash that Jackson got fired. But the dude won 2 games.
But you know why? I think that was probably because of his he lost his mother and his brother.
And, no, it was his mother and a brother. Yeah,
And a brother
and
during
like back to back,
within back-to-back weeks during training camp. So I think that because I thought it was kind of messed up that they fired Jackson first too, but then they turned around and fired Haley because I felt like it was Haley.
I was surprised because all the the word on the street was Haley was on his way out.
Right.
So I was very surprised when they fired Hugh Jackson, but I guess like Brian said, he only won 2 games. It was surprising that he made it past last season. And it's just and as far as Baker Mayfield, I think Baker Mayfield is a special type of dude. I think he's meant to do great things in this league. But you're right, Herman. They do have to watch how they proceed with him. They don't need to mess him up and get him scared in the pocket and all this stuff. They need to be very careful how they proceed. So speaking on that, I mean, is it too soon to start talking about who you think who might be the next possible head coach of Cleveland?
It's early.
It's too early. It's too early.
You don't know what you
possibly
college
rank. The reason why I say that too because a lot of times your young minds or young coordinators really won't start developing until it comes to playoff time. That's when you really start seeing some of them the cream right to the top.
But not necessarily.
Real quick, I just wanted to comment on Haley. I knew there was a bad choice for Haley when he wasn't working out with Pittsburgh. Him and Ben had
I knew you were gonna say something like that.
Had a terrible relationship. And not only that, Haley only got the job from Pittsburgh only because of his father. His father has history back with Pittsburgh. I don't know if they felt sorry for him or what, but he was granted there only because his father was coaching there. It wasn't because Mike Tomlin wanted help or wanted him there. Pittsburgh decided to do this.
But wasn't Haley the coach, the OC when Arizona went to the Super Bowl? He was their OC, right?
No, he might have been the OC, but the head coach was.
He wasn't. He was the OC. No.
I don't think Haley was there. No, because Wisenhunt would run his own.
No, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm thinking about it right now.
Who has Haley been successful with?
He was successful.
He was successful. He was successful in Arizona, wasn't he?
Oh, he's saying, but Ben had his best years under Haley.
Yeah, he did. He did have his best years under Haley.
Ben wasn't a rookie, and Ben had come into his own too.
But they clashed.
And they clashed. All you saw was them on the sideline yelling and fussing and fighting with each other. I mean, you can't have that with a rookie. He's gonna break that dude.
So the type of coach that they should get. I mean, are y'all thinking more that they should try to find some young dude, Sean McVay? Or are you thinking that they need more?
He was the OC in Arizona. He was the OC.
Okay. Or do they need like a more of a veteran coach, with a presence that can take control of, more like a Bill Parcells style?
No, I think he needs a younger coach, somebody who's gonna come in, bounce the things that he likes off of him. Because these older coaches sometimes refuse to do what the player does best. They want to stick to what they want to do. But the younger guys are willing, and this is why Sean Payton and Drew Brees, they're older, but this is why they work so well together, because they work together. Even though it's a head coach and
Payton takes a lot of his knowledge, of Brees' knowledge, and uses it for his advantage.
Yeah.
He needs a coach like that can take his best attributes and turn that into something else. That's what kind of coach.
Even though he's still young, he's still a rookie. There are things that he will have to learn from that coach, but at the same time, they can work together. And I think that's what he needs.
The hot word on the street, what a lot of people are hoping for is that Lincoln Riley, Baker Mayfield's coach at Oklahoma, comes in. But I don't think that happens. Lincoln Riley, he's in a very good position at Oklahoma. And if you win those top tier college programs, and life is good.
Yeah, you don't have to leave.
You don't leave, and you saw what happened to Nick Saban, and
the only thing is that you do only. I mean, life may be good in college, but if life doesn't get good in college, you don't have that chance to go up. You only have a few chances to get NFL jobs. There's only 32 of them. You could always try, and like Nick Saban, go back.
Yeah, right now Oklahoma is they might not make the college playoff, but they're doing good. Lincoln Riley's been a successful coach.
Doing well with LSU when you decided to coach Miami.
That's true. But I just know in college, if it's good, it's a top 10 program. For me, you don't leave.
They make more money than some.
Yeah,
of
they
these.
do.
Yeah, they do.
So
they do. And
it's like, what is
it's
the
a shorter
point?
season, and
Some of them don't want to be in the NFL.
Yeah, that's true.
They
That's
want
true.
to teach these players to play.
I don't think you get Harbaugh back in the NFL at all.
Yeah, he'd probably not come back.
Yeah, he'll never come back. He'd be crazy too.
Yeah, exactly.
So we can talk some trades. Let's talk about the Packers.
Before we talk trades, can we talk about about this? Hold on. Welcome back, Fitzmagic.
I really want to talk about him again.
I'm just saying.
I mean, he's back in the saddle again.
He's back in the saddle.
you're laughing, but that dumb quarterback was my fantasy quarterback, and of course, him. So of course, I had to go pick up this magic this week. So yeah, it's not really much out there. So
Who's your main quarterback?
Winston right now.
Winston was your main quarterback?
What?
I forgot who he was initially. I got rid of him. So.
Oh my.
Oh, it was Garoppolo. It was Garoppolo.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
Where are you at in your fantasy league?
Terrible.
Yeah.
Let me explain why.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick is back. Next subject.
But I just want to say one thing. That
I mean, go ahead, Marcus.
I think that if in baseball and football they had like a relief quarterback, like they got a relief pitcher,
Yeah.
I think Fitzmagic would be a Hall of Fame quarterback because he can come in and clean up. He just can't keep it up.
But you know what? I don't know. I think this time around, I think he's going to hold on to this job. I think
You think so?
because
go back to Winston.
right, I think they can go back to Winston at this point, and I think he feels comfortable and free to do what he wants to do. I think that game right there, when Winston was right there, I think he felt that pressure, and I think that's why he didn't do as well. But I don't think they can go back to Winston. No.
Nah, I don't think.
I think that coaching staff is looking for another quarterback right now.
Why? Peter Nigeria.
Neither one of them will be there.
No, the quarterback
Neither
didn't
one
win,
of them will be there.
and neither will the coaches. It's like this is ridiculous. It's just this back and forth merry-go-round. It's just crazy.
But they're still like number one in offense.
Are they really?
That's because of the yard.
It's yardage. It's always yardage. Go ahead.
So the Packers traded away Clinton Dix to the Skins for a fourth round.
Third and fourth.
Third round. I think it was third round.
Third round. Not this year though. Next year.
Next year.
Next year was that okay? That was a different trade. But let's talk about the Ty Montgomery. It was Ty Montgomery trade.
So it went to the Ravens.
He went to the Ravens. They shipped his butt up out of Green Bay so fast. And then it was for a 7th rounder, not in the 2019 draft, but the 2020. They almost might as well just cut him.
Yeah.
It's like
that's what happens when you don't let Aaron Rodgers win a game for you.
that's ridiculous. That dude, first of all, in my opinion, I didn't feel like he was a running back anyway.
I didn't either.
He started as a wide receiver, didn't he?
Yeah, he came out. He was a wide
He was a
receiver.
running back in college. When he came to pros, he was a wide receiver.
And then they needed a
run
running
back.
back.
But he became like a running back due to necessity because they didn't have.
True, that's
True, but he was a running back in college.
Yeah, but you do stupid stuff. You got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and you don't let that dude get the ball. You're lucky you got traded. Honestly.
Did you hear what his defense was?
No,
He says that he heard him. He said he admitted the coach told him, and he said it's a standard rule that if you catch the ball in the end zone, you down it, you go to 25. You got 12 back there.
Right.
He went to catch the ball. He claims he couldn't tell where he was in the end zone, and he was nervous that if he caught it and downed it, then he might down it on the one and make the whole situation worse. So that's why he claims he ran out of it.
I can, if you watch it, I can almost see that being a possibility. He was kind of close to the line, and if your momentum might carry him out.
Yeah, you kneel backwards, and he wasn't running forward. I don't think.
I think he's a veteran player,
And he knows
he
that.
should know where he is on that field. That was just a dumb move.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah,
You think he did it on purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think he
oh,
defied the coach
absolutely,
and did
because
it
he
on
wanted
purpose.
to show him up.
Then he fumbled. Dummy. Another trade. We had a couple trades.
We didn't really talk about the high point this one.
Yeah,
Or we're going back to that.
he went to the Redskins.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a
Hey,
good
I want
move.
to talk about that.
I think that's a good move for you all.
Definitely.
I'm
is.
upset about it.
Him with Swearinger.
Yeah.
I think it's
One in interceptions. Haha Dix is like number 4.
Yeah, I mean, the two of them back there together, that'll be a great fit.
Yeah, you need it because your corners.
Because obviously the Redskins are betting all hopes on defense this year. If they make it to the playoffs, it's gonna be to defense because the offense is not really doing a whole lot. So I think they're just putting all the cards on the table and saying defense, and so I think it's a good move.
That's not true. Peterson is doing something.
Yeah, you're running.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, Peterson. That's about it. Everybody else is not doing a whole lot.
The air and ground, the ground receipt runner, whatever.
Yeah,
he won that award.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets hurt or it's pretty much over for the offense. So because it goes through him right now.
Well, teams are going to probably start loading the box too. I mean, if you're not already, you need to be. Alex Smith is not scaring me, and then when you start getting into the winter months, they're definitely going to load the box because it's harder to throw anyway. So.
And where the heck is the tight end in that offense?
Dude, they are not.
To me, it seems like he's not too sure of himself. It seems like with Alex Smith,
he's not sure of that line.
It's like he passed the ball a lot. He just doesn't seem like he's comfortable at all back there. Now he has weapons, he just hasn't utilized them correctly yet. I think when y'all do, you probably see that offense open up a lot better. But until then, he just seems like he's
this year. He's showing me he's the Alex Smith of all time.
But
chuck down Chark.
But hey, in their defense, he doesn't put this defense in. He's maintained some drives where he don't put them in bad. He don't put the defense in bad field.
That's true.
Meaning it's not 3 plays out and then the defense is back on the field. So he's
a game manager.
Yes, exactly. He's been a game manager. So
all right, get off the Redskins. We were talking about trades.
Right now. Anyway, back to the trades. Jeez, Eagles traded a 3rd round pick for Golden Tate. If I didn't think about this till I talked to an Eagles fan, but he was happy about it. He feels like, of course, he got the better trade that we did. He was
all of them.
I think everybody feels that way.
Yeah,
not everybody.
But he came at me and was like, "First rounder." Huh?
Everybody's a Cowboys fan.
2nd rounder, so he was like, "Yeah, that's the point." But he made a point about this. Tate's in his last year of his contract, so they traded for him. If Tate walks in free agency, I think they're going to get like a 3rd round comp pick for that. So they really don't lose.
The thing is, I'm just trying to figure out where Tate fits in that offense. I mean, is he going to take Aguilar's catches, or I mean,
he's going to be opposite of Jeffries.
Alshon. He's because I mean they had a pretty good receiving core. Before that, I thought they needed to do more. I thought that the Eagles should have pushed more to try to get Clinton Dix too. Because they could have definitely used
or a running back.
Yeah. I mean, it just seems like you added a piece that you didn't really necessarily need, unless there's something else going on, behind the scenes. Maybe Aguilar's injured or somebody on their position as well. But I mean, it was a nice pickup, but it wasn't. I don't feel it was necessary.
Well, he's a great yak option. He gets a Golden Tate. He gets a lot of yards after the catch.
So does Aguilar.
He's like yeah, but I mean, you can always have more receivers, and I think he fits nicely into the offense they're trying to run.
Is that you keep they people are going on and on about how they use the number 2. Tate is in his 30s.
Yeah,
okay,
but again,
and the guy we got, he's 24.
It's like the window for Tate.
Right, it's very slim.
The window for Cooper,
yeah, of course, Cooper. Yeah, I mean, Dallas gave up a 1st rounder. The only reason we gave up the 1st rounder now, I'm seeing is the Eagles were going to give a 2nd.
Right,
we had to beat them out.
Right,
we got the younger receiver. Dallas got the younger receiver. He's 24. Yeah, he's if you go watch the video from the herd, he talked about this trade. He's 6 months older than Calvin Ridley.
Yep.
The Raiders are a bad team. The Raiders have ruined good players before. Okay, seriously. So yeah, he's on that downslope. All he needed was this change of scenery. The wide receiver, if Dallas was going to look at a wide receiver next year, the wide receiving core coming out of college is not good, and Dallas would have had about a mid-round first round draft pick. So we spent it this year on Cooper. And yeah, again, I've softened on it. At first, I didn't like it. I still don't 100% like it, but I'm more now to let's sit back and see what happens. Also, you get to test Dak now. You're giving Dak his weapons that he needs. We're going to see truly if Dak is what he is. Again, though, I feel like Dak still needs a true quarterback coach behind him. Kellen Moore is not the solution for a coach for Dak.
You guys are really getting off.
We're talking about trades.
We are, but now we're talking about the quarterbacks coach. Get back on the trade.
Okay, I'm sorry. But
It's
the
always
trade,
time to go.
I know Dallas gave up a lot. I still feel like Dallas got the better trade because we got the younger.
With much more
receiver.
potential.
Yeah,
Much more potential.
much more.
I feel like that trade is going to determine whether Dak's whether his contract gets extended where he stays in Dallas or not.
Not yet, because we still got the 5th-year option, and we got to talk about one more trade too.
Do we have a
Houston
50
got.
option on Dak? Because Dak was a 4th-round draft pick.
Oh no, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm tripping. Houston traded for Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas.
Demaryius Thomas. I feel like they got the second best trade in my. I know he's older, but Demaryius Thomas he's good. He's going to be good.
Him teamed up.
But he hasn't done much since Peyton Manning left.
Yeah, I know, but now I think him teamed up with Hopkins
It's
on the
good.
other
I think
side.
it's a plus. I think it's a plus.
I don't know.
The only problem I have with Thomas is it does seem like he takes off on some plays. That's a little question mark, but he has all the physical tools to. I mean, he's a monster. You get the boy, you get him the ball. I think he will do well. I think he will.
I think y'all are thinking of the Thomas of old because he, like Marcus was saying, and he hasn't done much the last few years since Peyton last left.
Who has never had as far as quarterback?
Yeah, with the quarterback.
True, but I mean, even then, I don't know. We'll see. Well, I guess time will tell. But they lost a wide receiver who took the top off the defense. I don't think that was Will Fuller.
Yeah,
They took him, Fuller.
He's been
Will Fuller?
Will Fuller's been
Will Fuller
hurt every
He
year.
was on my fantasy team.
He's been
Trust me,
hurt
he wasn't
every
doing-
year.
he wasn't doing much.
I know that other game he
Yeah,
was like.
splash.
Matter of fact,
one
this last game he was like.
yeah, and then he got hurt.
But he's still the guy that gets the top off the defense that left DeAndre Hopkins and the tight ends work underneath. I don't see him doing that. I see him, it's similar to Hopkins, just an older version that's not as
Yeah. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps up the show tonight. I think we talked about everything hot in the NFL right now. We thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Sorry we interrupted your football game.
Yeah. Hopefully we were better than the game. I'm sure we probably were.
Somebody tweet us the score.
Right now, I'm watching it right now. 7-3.
San Francisco.
All right.
Just out of curiosity, did Breida score?
Right. Hopefully he's in Atlanta. So, Marcus, why don't you take us out from now?
So we want to encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell icon to make sure you get notified whenever we go live. Follow us on Twitter at The Live Game. So we'll be back next week at the same usual bat time at the same usual bat channel. That's it for us. We out.
Enjoy the game.